What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Listen, I'm just gonna say it straight. Relationships are falling apart today because some men don't know how to lead and women don't know how to follow. Everybody wants equality in theory, but when the pressure hits and life throws curveballs, somebody has to step up and take charge, and that somebody is supposed to be the man. Let me know your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started.
A real man will lead a woman through her emotions. A man who does not understand how to handle his masculinity will allow a woman to lead the relationship with her emotions.
I think us women forget that if we want a good man, we have to be willing to let them lead. Can't do this if we question his every step of the way. You want a man to lead, then let him lead.
Yeah, boy.
When a man becomes better, the woman benefits as a byproduct. When the woman becomes better, she starts to look at other potential suitors. That's the difference, because you guys are always looking for someone who's better than you. Men, we don't care about that. We're satisfied with a girl that can help us be the best that we can be. A girl isn't satisfied until she finds the best that she can get. So that is why it's so important for the man to be the leader. Because if the woman's the leader, just a matter of time until he's going to get replaced. I always say it. Men lead, women follow. If a woman leads, she's going to lead you all right to the end of that goddamn relationship.
I believe as the man is the leader of the relationship. Me, I'm trying to provide for you. I want to take care of you. I want you to bring me peace. I want you to take care of the home while I'm out there in the world. I'm constantly in a masculine mode as soon as I step out of this home. Because you gotta be, like YG says, you gotta stay dangerous. I wanna come home and be around the femininity of my woman, the softness, the touching of a woman, the cooking of a woman, the smell of a woman. Like, I wanna be at peace. And like, that's why it's so important to have like your roles identified.
I've never heard a man complain about having to lead in the relationship as long as he feels loved and respected.
If he doesn't feel loved, appreciated, or respected, then it's exhausting.
Yes, exactly. That's the
If
only
she's
time.
complaining that you're not doing enough and you feel like, man, I'm carrying this whole relationship, I'm doing all the work, I'm paying for everything, I'm doing all the chores, and you're still don't respect,
Exactly.
then it's exhausting.
Exactly. On the flip side, though, there are tons of women who, at a certain point, they don't want to have to be the leader of the relationship.
I love my husband, and to say that I obey him is to say I honor him, to say I respect him and his choices and his decision to lead this family. I don't lead nothing. If I were to lead this family, we'd be down in the gutter because I got Afterpay, Affirm, I got debt, I got all this craziness in my life. I ain't leading nothing. That's what God created him for me. He is my helpmate, and I'm to be his helpmate, not his burden, not his back talk, not the one that brings him down. And so sometimes I think that we are in such this independent mindset as women, and it's like, I'm sorry.
The woman should always follow the man that she's with. If he's going to lead, let him lead. You support him in those decisions. The decisions that he make are for the longevity of this relationship, and you trust that that's where he's coming from. If that's not there, then don't do it. So if a guy is going to be in a situation to where his work requires him to be in different places, she goes with him and the family all the time. Because the difference is that you have a home that's collapsing with a woman that's isolated at home, constantly looking at her phone, acting like that's giving her the security that she needs. I promise she's not. The reality is when a man has a life like that, that's what his life requires. If she agrees to be with that man, then she agrees to follow that man with what his life requires.
You cannot lead a relationship if you're not willing to walk away from it. Now, a lot of men won't like that one because you can't tell her the things she needs to hear because it's true. You tell her what she likes to hear and she's no longer safe. And you have to remember this, is that as a man and as a leader, and every man is going to be the leader of his household and he's going to lead his woman. And I believe that it's if men want the good sex, the intimacy, and the polarity that they seek, and if women want the security and men want to witness beauty, I promise you leadership as men is going to look good on you. Doesn't look so good when it's on her. I am willing to let you go, honey. Why? Because this very thing that I'm connected to is the very reason why you're here. We're collectively bringing that in together. And so look, as much as I love you, that very thing that I'm connecting to, I'm willing to go at alone. That makes others feel safe, especially if you're a leader.
One thing about me, I'm gonna listen to my man. Like, some women see it as like a man trying to control you, but I look at it as my man is being a protector and a leader. Like, us women, we're very emotional, so we act off of emotions a lot, and men, they're logical thinkers. So when we be acting up, they look at it from a different perspective. So they just like, girl, you tripping, or you need to do it this way, or you don't need to do that, or you need to take that down, or you need to take that off. And some women look at it like, he trying to control me, he insecure, he this and he that, but he really protecting you from some whole other shit, or he just trying to redirect you so you won't fall off of your path. And as women, we just gotta respect that sometimes. Like, it's okay to put your pride to the side and listen to your king.
Hey ladies. So, I see a lot of videos on the internet that say, let the man lead, right? But I think there's a piece missing behind let the man lead. It's if he has leadership qualities. So the whole phrase should be, let the man lead if he has leadership qualities. Just because you're a man does not mean you have leadership qualities. And not everybody on this earth is meant to be a leader or lead, men and women included, right? So before you let a man lead just because he's a man, just make sure he has leadership qualities and leadership skills. That's all. Have a good day.
The man should be making all the decisions and planning it and leading her through that, through the date, through the experience, creating an experience for her.
Make the plans, because women are very attracted to a guy that just makes the plans.
Right. But it could also be, if it's a mystery, if it's like, you don't know what the reservation is or what the restaurant is, I've got something special planned for us. Meet me at this place at 7:00. Wear something nice. The idea is like to come across different than what other guys do by having a plan, by being not afraid to tell a woman what you want.
And you know what that is?
And what you like.
Masculine.
That's right. That's what it is.
And that's what women like.
And
even women who are in their masculine, they respect you making a plan, setting it up. They will respect that no matter what. And it will attract her more towards you.
See, leadership isn't about control. It's about direction. A man should have a vision for the relationship, a plan for the future, and the backbone to carry it out. Too many dudes nowadays are sitting back, waiting for their girlfriend to make all the decisions, where to live, how to spend money, even what the next step in the relationship is. That's weak energy, and women don't respect it.
You want a man to lead, but you don't want to be a follower. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I got to send the asteroid on that one. Holy shit. On a biological and attraction level, I would say most women want men to be leaders, pay for the first date, take initiative, make the first move, do all these things, right? But you also simultaneously, you want men to be leaders, but you don't want to be followers. And that's the breakdown, I think, in most relationships, is you have women who desperately want men to be strong, to be masculine, to be leaders, but you're not prepared to be followers. You cannot be a leader with a mutinous non-follower. I cannot lead somebody that's not prepared to follow me. It's like a dance. If both try to lead, it's a disaster. If both try to follow, it's a disaster. Someone has to lead, someone has to follow. You're shaking your head. You disagree. Look, if you want to be, as a woman, you want to be more masculine, you want to be more dominant, you want to take more of the lead in the relationship, that's your call. But if you're a woman and you want a guy to be the leader, you ought to be the follower. That's the only way it works.
Can your man lead you even when he's learning how to? That's a convicting question right there, because us women, we like information. We like details because it provides a sense of security and stability. And this isn't bad. However, it can come from the wrong place. When we know all the details and we got the who, what, when, where, how, why, that's when we will determine if we move or not. But is that what it actually means to be led? When we have this mentality, we will unknowingly, number one, put a standard of perfection on that man. And number two, we will not give him room to grow as a leader. When you read the Bible, it says God told Abraham to leave his father and his mother's house and go into a land that he will show him. Now, I don't want to focus so much on Abraham. I want us to look at the life of Sarah. She followed her man even when she did not have that much information. And that must be something that we commend her for, right? So the revelation that she got out of this, the revelation that she had, and which I believe many of us women need to grab on hold to, is, can your trust be so deeply embedded in God that the trust that you have for your man is in the knowing that God will lead him?
Y'all want a guy who's a leader, but you're not prepared to be followers. So stop demanding leaders if you're not prepared to follow.
A leader doesn't command you, it doesn't order you around. That's not the definition of a leader. A leader guides, it doesn't order you.
That's a guidance counselor. That's not a leader. That's a
Okay,
guidance
there's difference between leading and sorry, is he paying all of her bills too then, right? He's paying all of her bills and doing all that for her. He's providing everything, right? He's leading and providing.
If he is, what does he get in return?
I'm fine with doing certain things for a guy when he is doing a lot for me as well and showing that he cares. To me, it's okay. Yeah, I'm okay with doing certain things for them. There's things that can enhance your career. You don't have to twerk on screen or whatever, but you know, being even if physical contact, you can't. He didn't want me to put my arm around anybody and taking pictures, like things like that. There's dreams.
I'm guiding you not to go to the club.
I mean, I've dated club promoters. I don't.
Bro, stop. It's not all about you. We're speaking in generalities here. I get you're involved in the nightlife, whatever. In her case, she doesn't have any work relation to going out to bars and clubs. So her career is not going to suffer, right?
All right. I'm going to say it. Some of y'all aren't going to like it. It doesn't make it any less true. Some of us women want a man who leads. But the second he makes a decision, you need your group chat, you need a psychic, you need a third cousin twice removed, and somebody else's baby mama's brother's sister's cousin to jump in on that decision and validate it. Now, you say you want masculine energy, but the second you get it, you call it controlling. Once it doesn't fit the aesthetic, we don't want it. Letting that man lead doesn't mean that you lose your voice. What it means is you trust his intention. You trust his decision-making skills. You don't need to micromanage everything he does because you need to have control. Because that control makes you feel safe. You can't say, I want a man to take charge, but then every time he picks the wrong brunch spot, pick a lane, sis. Leadership isn't a vibe. It's a dynamic. If you can't handle it, maybe you don't really want it.
If you want to know how well a man can lead, watch how he handles you when you're in a full panic. I remember this one time I was traveling for work. A man was with me and I lost my rental car key. I left it in a mall that was about to close and I was in a full panic because I couldn't find it. And the last place I remember having it was when I set it down to try a pair of shoes on. The mall was literally closing, like they were locking the doors, and I was starting to freak out because I was in a city that I wasn't surely full aware of. And it was all bad. I was very stressed out and I was very anxious. I had a big job the next morning. And this man fully grounded me in that moment. And not only did he do that, but he instantly turned into a problem solver. When you're anxious, spiraling, overwhelmed, a real man will not be dismissive. He won't get loud, and he most certainly won't tell you to just relax. A man that can lead you will become the calm in all of the chaos. His tone will soften and his presence will sharpen up immediately. He most certainly will not take your panic personally, and he will ground you through the situation. He'll turn into a problem solver and he'll ask you what you need. And instead of running from your emotions, he'll help lead you through them. Real masculinity is not about control. It's about emotional leadership. It's his ability to stay rooted if you're unraveling. A man who can center you when you're spiraling, that is emotional safety, okay? That is leadership. That is love. That is what I'll submit to. It is super rare for me to come across, but it definitely exists. I just think about that moment of panic when I instantly got anxiety thinking I wasn't going to be able to find this rental car key as the mall was closing. And this man completely and utterly grounded me and then sprinted inside and got the key from the store. And in that moment, I was like, oh my God, I was in a full-fledged panic. And he talked me off the ledge and he's like, it's okay. We'll figure it out. And that is what love is to me. It's a, we'll fix this together. It's not a, I'm going to get defensive. It's not a, how could you do that? How could you have lost the key? It's not a, I'm pointing the finger at you. It's a, how can I fix the problem? How can we fix it together?
Leadership doesn't mean being a tyrant. It doesn't mean ignoring her voice. It means you take her input, you listen, but at the end of the day, you're the one who sets the direction. Because when things go wrong, she's not going to take the blame, you are. That's the weight of being a man, and that's exactly why men should lead. What do y'all think? Let me know, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that, I'm out.